Coming up, Bill O'Reilly receives a massive payout after Fox News fires him for sexual harassment claims.
And a popular Paris street is under lockdown after a gunman opened fire on police officers. We'll give you the latest details on this developing story.
And the medical examiner who performed the autopsy on Aaron Hernandez will not return his brain to his family and their attorney. We'll have more on this legal battle on CitrusTV News live at 6.
This is CitrusTV News live at 6, your campus news leader.
Good evening and welcome to CitrusTV News live at 6. I'm Maria Cinti.
And I'm Mike Riccardi.
Syracuse students only have one more night to vote for their preferred candidates in the Student Association's presidential election.
At midnight tonight, the MySlice voting portal will close, and the presidential candidates will receive a phone call notifying them whether or not they won.
And Citrus TV reporter Zachary Levine will have more on the election results tomorrow night on Citrus TV News live at 6. And Syracuse University's Self-Study Steering Committee has created a feedback phase in its efforts to attain reaccreditation by the Middle States Commission of Higher Education. The Middle States Commission is a nonprofit peer evaluation program that accredits colleges and universities in 5 different states, including New York. The feedback phase includes a self-study draft report where members of the community can read the report and submit feedback on selfstudy.syr.edu.
5 honorary degrees will be awarded at the 2017 commencement. Frank Bisagno, a business leader, and Vernon Jordan, a civil rights activist and attorney, will receive their Doctor of Laws. Vincent Poore, a leader in wireless communications, will receive his Doctor of Science. Thomas Porter, who has dedicated his life to preserving Native American traditions, will receive a Doctor of Humane Letters. And finally, Carrie Mae Weems, a contemporary artist, will receive a Doctor of Fine Arts from the university. The One University Awards ceremony will take place on Tuesday at 5 p.m. in Hendricks Chapel. Although the ceremony mainly focuses on the Chancellor's Medal and the Chancellor's Citation for Excellence, many other awards will be given as well. Remembrance Scholars, Lockerbie Scholars, Class Marshals, and University Scholars will also be honored. A reception will follow the ceremony in the Millen Atrium in the Life Sciences Complex.
And the New York State of Parole is appealing a decision to release a woman convicted of murder in 1992. Although a model inmate, Lori Kellogg, would not accept responsibility for her husband's death. The murder case made national headlines, and ABC created a TV movie about the case. Lori Kellogg was originally sentenced 25 years to life for her involvement in the murder. And Onondaga County is seeking bipartisan election inspectors. The guidelines require individuals to be bipartisan teams of 2 Republicans and 2 Democrats for both the September and November elections. In order to be part of the team, individuals must be registered voters, enrolled in the Democratic and Republican parties, able to serve anywhere in Onondaga County, and be available on the day of the election. The job pays $190.
Well, yesterday's rainy day turned into today's cloudy, but we didn't see the rain. So, looking forward, what do you think, Jack?
Thanks a lot, Mike and Maria. Yeah, a bit of a gloomy one today, as we can see mild temperatures throughout central New York here. Syracuse 57, Cortland 59, Ithaca 62, up here in Rome 59, out here in Lake Ontario, Rochester just 50 degrees, getting some serious chilly temperatures there. However, on campus today, our current conditions 57 degrees, rainy and cool, some rain developing in the afternoon on and off, following some clouds in the morning. But there is more rain developing, and that will impact us tomorrow morning. I'll have it all on my full forecast when Citrus TV News live at 6 returns, guys.
And coming up, Bill O'Reilly receives a $25 million payout from Fox News. Why did the former Fox star receive so much money?
And several members of the Trump cabinet are abroad in Asia today meeting with different foreign leaders. We'll have more after the break.
Are you good to drive?
I'm fine.
How many did you have?
I should be fine.
You should be.
Go and step out of the vehicle for me.
See ya, buddy. Good luck. So turns out, buzz driving and drunk driving, they're the same thing, and it costs around $10,000. So not worth it.
Look at you. You're at the top of your game. You're unstoppable. Nothing can throw you off track.
Wait, is that your car? Uh-oh. Yeah, I saw that coming. That will throw you off track. You're looking at around 10 grand in fines, legal fees, and increased insurance rates. Let's try this again. Smart move. Because buzz driving is drunk driving.
Your daughter just had her first breakup. Do you A, put yourself in her shoes, B, console her,
Don't worry, sweetie. This is gonna happen a lot.
or C, find her a new boyfriend?
Nice single boys. That was weird.
As a parent, there are no perfect answers. But you don't have to be perfect to be a perfect parent. Thousands of teens in foster care will love you just the same.
Looking for these? You drive buzzed. It could be one very expensive ride.
First, you gotta make bail. Then pay me to get your car back.
Your insurance premiums will go through the roof.
And my legal fees just keep adding up. All told, it could end up costing you $10,000.
Buzzed, busted, and broke. Because buzz driving is drunk driving.
If you see news happening on campus, in Syracuse, or across the nation, call the Citrus TV newsroom, 315-443-1177, or tweet at Citrus TV News, your campus news leader.
Bill O'Reilly won't be leaving Fox News empty-handed. Sources close to the former Fox News host say he is receiving upward of $25 million as severance.
O'Reilly had signed this new contract shortly before being fired. Fox spent around $13 million in settlements around claims of sexual harassment against O'Reilly.
And former Senator Scott Brown might be heading across the Pacific for his new job.
President Trump says he will nominate Brown to be the U.S. ambassador to New Zealand. The Republican politician surprised the country by winning the 2010 special election to replace the late Ted Kennedy in Massachusetts.
He was also an early supporter of Trump during the presidential campaign and is no longer in office after losing his seat to Elizabeth Warren in 2012.
President Trump is launching an investigation into whether steel imports are harmful to national security.
The president signed a memo today under the Trade Expansion Act of 1962. The order will require Commerce Secretary Wilbur Ross to conduct a review of the issue within 270 days. Trump will then decide whether to reduce the import of foreign steel.
The U.S. currently imports steel from more than 90 countries. The president spoke on the matter today in the Oval Office.
Really, long before that, because Wilbur and I have been working on this for a long time, into foreign steel arriving into our markets, and to submit a report on the effects of these foreign steel products on the national security of the United States. It's not just a pricing, it's not just employment, it also has to do with the national security of our country.
A Tennessee man accused of kidnapping his student is in police custody after 5 weeks on the run.
Tad Cummins and his 15-year-old student Elizabeth disappeared after her classmate reported seeing them kissing. They were last seen on security footage at a Walmart in Oklahoma City.
The case went cold until a car belonging to Cummins was found in California this morning, 2,000 miles from Tennessee. Cummins is facing charges of aggravated kidnapping and sexual contact with a minor.
2 students are under arrest after making threats against a high school near Houston. Officials say classmates of the students reported the threats posted on Snapchat this morning.
Police did not find any weapons on the suspects who are facing criminal charges. Police officers were at the school today as a precautionary measure.
Paris is yet again under lockdown. 1 policeman is dead and 2 are wounded after an attack on the Champs-Élysées.
And the famous avenue is closed to the public and a heavy police presence surrounds the 18th neighborhood. Eyewitnesses say a man stopped his car next to a police van and opened fire with an automatic weapon. He then tried to flee on foot while continuing to shoot at police.
The attacker was killed in crossfires. Police fired back. Authorities in France say the attacker was known for his radical Islamic tendencies. President Trump said in a statement he believes it was a terrorist attack.
And members of the Trump administration are traveling the world today to further American foreign policy. Vice President Mike Pence is continuing on his tour of Asia. He met with members of the Association of Southeast Asian Nations and discussed the possibility of fair trade with Indonesia.
Meanwhile, Secretary of Defense Mattis traveled from Egypt to Israel to meet with Prime Minister Netanyahu tomorrow. After landing, Mattis was asked about the use of the mother of all bombs in Afghanistan.
But there was no surprise in terms of the effect of that battle at all. The battle was going on, and we were going to use what was necessary to break ISIS. And we've made that very clear in every theater where we're up against ISIS.
General Motors is stopping all operations in Venezuela after the government seized their plant in the country. GM is calling the takeover illegal and says it's in total disregard of its rights.
Authorities have removed cars and other equipment from company facilities. The government has not announced why they seized the plant, but the Venezuelan president has blamed U.S. companies for problems in the past. GM says it will take all possible legal actions within and outside Venezuela.
China is one step closer to developing its own space station. The country launched its first cargo spacecraft today from the Wenchang Space Launch Center.
This is a crucial step in creating an Operation Space Station uniquely for China in the future. The ambitious space program plans to land on the moon by 2018 and on Mars by 2020.
From the Citrus TV Weather Center, this is SU's most accurate weather forecast.
Overcast conditions and mild temperatures defining our day on campus. Clouds and on and off rain, as we can see, and sunny days are ahead in the beginning of next week. We'll talk a little more about that later. But for now, our future radar, we could see this rain development affecting our entire area throughout the overnight hours and into the early morning tomorrow. You might have to deal with it a little bit more into the late morning, but by the afternoon, it should clear out. Tonight's forecast on campus here, a low of 53 degrees, and we saw some rain with our radar. Not a drastic drop in temperature from yesterday, but that rain is moving in, and it's going to stay for a pretty long time. Now, we do have a big game in the Dome. It's senior day against Binghamton for our #1 ranked Syracuse lacrosse team. It's going to be pretty chilly, though. 47 degrees are high when you're heading over to the Dome. We are anticipating a quick increase by Sunday and by Monday and Tuesday, as we will see with our Citrus TV 5-day forecast here. Sunday, we're having a very sunny Sunday. Please forgive me for that pun. 61 degrees the high that day, but back down to 55 degrees by Monday. And then on Tuesday, we are seriously warming up, 66 degrees and partly cloudy skies for Tuesday, guys.
Well, Jack, I'll forgive you for the pun if you can forgive me for my inability to speak earlier. How's that sound? When is the rain moving out of our region?
Well, this rain is probably going to be out of the way by the afternoon tomorrow, and we probably won't get that much rain this weekend, so it's going to be a pretty clear weekend in terms of precipitation for us.
So, Jack, I was really liking the weather last Monday, so when should we be getting back to that?
Well, we should be getting back to the 80-degree temperatures and the high 70s by the end of next week, of course, just in time for us to be stuck inside studying for finals.
Maybe play some golf. Thanks, Jack. Coming up, a legal battle ensues over Aaron Hernandez's brain after the medical examiner who performed his autopsy refuses to return the brain to his family.
And the last baby killer whale was born to the orca breeding program yesterday in SeaWorld. We'll have more on this after the break.
There's one thing you can never have sex without.
It's not something you buy.
Or something you take.
In fact, there's only one way to get it.
It has to be given to you, freely.
It's consent.
Because sex without it isn't sex.
It's rape. Consent.
If you don't get it, you don't get it. It's on us to stop sexual assault.
Learn how and take the pledge at itsonus.org.
Hey, Hard, what's this?
That's my resignation letter.
You're resigning.
Why?
Because you're constantly ignoring me. You're half as active as you used to be, and you get stuff like this. You've been putting me under a lot of pressure lately. That's why I'm ready to quit. I forgot. I'll do better. Please, don't quit on me. Okay, but remember, it's not what you say, it's what you do.
Listen to your heart. Don't let it quit on you.
Let's go for a walk.
Uncontrolled high blood pressure could lead to a stroke, heart attack, or death. Get yours to a healthy range before it's too late.
If you see news happening on campus, in Syracuse, or across the nation, call the CitrusTV newsroom, 315-443-1177, or tweet at CitrusTV News, your campus news leader.
Compared to Germany and the United Kingdom, of the biggest three European economies, France has seen the slowest economic growth since the financial crisis. In 2016, the French economy grew by 1.2%, while Germany and the UK had growth over 1.8%. This is the result of large unemployment and government debt. The country's economic state is a key issue in Sunday's presidential election. FITBIT and Mio fitness trackers are accurate enough for consumers. An accuracy study created by the Annals of Internal Medicine measured the accuracy of fitness trackers against hospital medical equipment. The fitness trackers were most accurate during rest and then decreased in accuracy when activity increased. Professionals warn, however, that this does not pose a reason for consumers to not wear them.
According to a new poll, 69% of Americans say they would approve professional athletes using marijuana for pain relief. The poll also said that 67% of Americans believe that using opiates for pain relief poses more health risks than using medical marijuana. According to one of the conductors of the study, the acceptance of marijuana usage for medical purposes has grown in recent years. The last killer whale to be born at SeaWorld was born yesterday. As a result from public pressure at the end of 2015, SeaWorld announced that it would stop breeding orcas in captivity and that it would end its killer whale show by 2019. The ethical treatment of animals called for SeaWorld to retire the calf and its mother Takara to a seaside sanctuary. The calf will be named in the upcoming weeks. And CVS Pharmacy is significantly decreasing its spending on Sunday circulars. The spending will be shifted towards Extra Care, which is a rewards program that gives coupons to customers on their smartphones by identifying specific buying habits. In 2016, CVS spent an estimated $216 million in advertising. CVS is one of the first companies to shift their advertising spending from print to digital coupons.
Following Aaron Hernandez's suicide in prison yesterday, a new development has emerged. Hernandez's brain will be released to the Boston University CTE study to conduct a cerebral autopsy. However, his family want the brain back so they can have an independent autopsy conducted themselves. Hernandez's family attorney Jose Baez reiterated his client's stance today.
The family of Aaron Hernandez has decided to donate Aaron's brain to this study so that we could possibly help other young men who decide to play football and to help further that cause.
Puerto Rican singer Ricky Martin now has his own reality show. The Untitled show will be on VH1 and will follow the superstar as he begins his residency at the Park Theater at the Monte Carlo Resort. It will look at his journey as both a father and an international music star. The show will debut in June. Until then, Martin will be living La Vida Loca.
Coming up on sports, Syracuse football is only days away from their first scrimmage, and the NFL has a big announcement tonight. Find out what next.
Fancy pants peanut butter? A big screen television? You haven't even bought a sofa yet. A motorcycle? When your father finds out, he's gonna flip his shoes with 2 buckles? What do you even need 2 buckles for? Mr. Big Shot, buying whiskey shots for everybody in the bar. From the looks of it, I'd say nobody even remembers. Feed the pig.
Visit aarp.org/caregiving for information on how to provide even better care for the person who wants to take care of you.
This is the story of a boy who didn't talk for a long time. The boy liked things to always be the same. Any changes would scare and upset him. The unknown was an unfriendly place. was very sensitive to lights and sounds. So he built secret hiding places where they couldn't get in. The boy didn't like looking people in the eye. He wasn't trying to be mean, it just made him feel uncomfortable. Sometimes he would flap his arms again and again.
One day, I found out I have something called autism. My family got me help. Slowly, I found my voice and learned all the ways I could live with it better.
Early intervention can make a lifetime of difference. Learn the signs at autismspeaks.org.
And now, your CitrusTV Sports Report.
We are 2 days away from Syracuse's spring showcase, and players say this is a good first test for the Orange.
A lot of guys are more confident in what they're supposed to be doing out here and what's really going on. And so I think at the beginning of spring balls, there were some guys that were playing kind of hesitant back and forth during the play, not really sure where they were supposed to go. And right now, everybody's just getting after a full attack. We've had several weeks of practice and installing plays here and there and trying to develop each player to get better. And so the spring game will give us a chance to see where everybody actually is and where we're going to be heading into fall ball.
Syracuse men's lacrosse has one more guaranteed game left in the Carrier Dome. The Orange square off against Binghamton Saturday on Senior Day. The Bearcats present a good test for SU, and seniors like Sergio Salcido are excited for one more home game.
Binghamton's been, I think, playing well. You know, they didn't put up as many points as they wanted to against Albany last night, but they held Albany, a high-scoring team to barely double figures. And they've been playing really good defense. I think their goalie's been a very good leader for them. The Waldron boy from West Tennessee has done a terrific job covering the other players' best man this year so far. Obviously, we'll miss Ben. You're going to miss a lot of the seniors with the job that like a Furman has done, and Sergio and Mariano, just to name a couple, and Malloy.
It's the last game you're guaranteed to play in the Dome, pending the first round of the playoffs being at home. But it's been an incredible run, and for all the guys that are walking this year, I hope they cherish it because it's a big deal and it goes by pretty fast.
This is the final home game for the Orange before the ACC tournament. Syracuse has already captured the ACC regular season title, but this isn't a game to relax for the Orange. The Bearcats are a top-tier lacrosse program. They just dropped out of the top 20 when they lost to UMBC on Saturday. Syracuse tennis is traveling to North Carolina to conclude its regular season. The Orange will play matches against Wake Forest and the third-ranked Tar Heels. Syracuse is coming off 2 losses last week against Duke and Virginia Tech. But SU is hoping to rebound behind their 2 ranked players, Miranda Ramirez and Gabriella Knudsen, who rank 49th in the nation in doubles. The first match is Friday at 4, and the weekend after, the Orange will head to the ACC tournament. The Sabres are shaking things up in the front office. They have fired general manager Tim Murray and head coach Dan Bilesma after they failed to turn the struggling franchise around. Buffalo will now be searching for their 4th head coach in 4 years. Both men had 3 years left on their contracts. The Rangers are back on the ice this evening for their Game 5 matchup against the Canadiens. New York and Montreal are tied in the series 2-2. The Rangers will need to capitalize on their chances if they want to get out of the first round. New York is 0-12 on power plays in the series. Rangers left wing Chris Kreider also needs to get going. The regular season goal-scoring leader has yet to record a point in the playoffs. Historically, the winner of Game 5 has gone on to win the series 78% of the time. Puck drop in Montreal is at 7. Big news for football fans, the NFL is releasing its full schedules tonight. However, parts of the schedules have already been leaked. On opening weekend, the Bills have a division game against the Jets, and the Giants will face the Cowboys on Sunday Night Football. This is the 3rd consecutive season that the Giants will open in Dallas, and you can catch the full release of the schedules tonight on ESPN. And Mike and Maria, the Super Bowl champion Patriots, will kick the season off officially against the Kansas City Chiefs.
All right, Nick. Well, we have a big weekend coming up for Syracuse sports. On Saturday, we have our lacrosse team playing Binghamton, and football will have its spring football game. So what are your thoughts? What should we expect for this coming weekend?
I think the Dome's going to be rocking from 10 a.m. till it closes because, Syracuse is going to get a first look at the defense and that high-octane Dino Babers offense. And then you also get the #1 team in the country, Syracuse men's lacrosse, getting their final game before they head to the ACC tournament. So it should be really fun.
And the men's lacrosse team only has 1 loss on the season. How do you like their chances to make a title run?
I think that the title could be coming home to Central New York. This team on defense and offense is extremely explosive. They have great leaders on the field that there is no way that this team can't make it to the Final Four. In fact, they should win the title. I peg them as the favorites.
Well, fingers crossed. Thanks, Nick, and go Orange. We'll be back after the break with a last look at the weather.
Don't go away.
Pre-diabetes. But with more exercise and a change in diet, it can be reversed.
I've tried exercising. It just makes me hungry for bacon.
I love bacon, too. And who really likes to exercise?
Not me.
Me neither.
Nobody. So we're good?
What? Oh, you still have pre-diabetes. Big time.
So, same time next week?
Well, of course.
There are 16 million children struggling with hunger in America. This is a serious problem, but one we can solve. Visit feedingamerica.org to help. Together we can solve hunger. Together we're feeding America.
Got a quarter?
One in wake up weather. Sound and see? Sound and see? Oh, ow. All right, just take them. Yeah, take them.
And coming up on OTN, we've got On the Bench at 6:30, followed by Juice and Java at 7.
And then make sure you tune into a brand new episode of our live political talk show, Talking Points, at 7:30.
And a quick update on that gunman attack in Paris. French investigators now believe that was in all likelihood a terrorist attack, and that the danger is likely over.
ISIS has also claimed responsibility for the attack.
Now, take a look at this picture. This is a massive iceberg that has floated off the shore of a small Canadian town in Newfoundland.
Now, tourists are flocking to the town of Fairyland to see this 150-foot tall iceberg with their own eyes. The iceberg is so big that it dwarfed a helicopter that landed on its surface.
The iceberg's arrival on the coast of the small town, according to experts, was likely caused by strong winds and rising Arctic temperatures.
That seems like a cool road trip to take, to go see that iceberg. I mean, could you imagine just floating right up to the shores? I mean, that's taller than the houses.
Right, I really can. I would definitely take a trip up with all those people that are going to see it.
Sadly, though, I think it's a sign of climate change. So, you know, you get what you can take. You have the benefit of the beautiful iceberg, the consequence of climate change sending it down to see ya.
Correct. Yeah, we definitely have both sides of it, but definitely a sight to see, for sure. And that's all the time we have for tonight. Make sure to follow us on Twitter and Facebook at CitrusTV News. I'm Maria Cinti.
And I'm Mike Riccardi. Have a good night, Syracuse.